good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Shipman and Shipman at the Movies. And today we're going to be talking about the Oscars, the Academy Awards of movies. This is the big ones. Today I've had with me the lovely and talented Miss Prudence Williams.
Hello, everyone. How are y'all out there doing today?
All right, Miss Williams. I look forward to this every year. I might not watch every show, but I just keep up with who's winning, who's losing. But this is going to be our first time we're going to sit here and we're going to make our predictions on who we think will win the Oscar this year.
Well, Dr. Shipman, I have truly enjoyed watching these movies. This is probably the first time ever in my life that I've made an active decision to watch the bulk of the big hitters on the screen. I'm normally the person who watches after, but this is the first time I've watched before, and so I think this will be interesting to predict and to see how we come. We're going to have to follow up and see how well we did.
We're going to follow up next week and have a follow-up show and see what happened.
All right, so where are we starting, Dr. Shipman?
We have 9 categories that we're going to talk about. We can't cover all the Oscar categories because, to be honest, I didn't see all the films, but I came pretty close. So we're going to start off with Best Animated Animation Feature.
Okay, and in that category, we have The Incredibles 2, Isles of the Dogs, Mira, Ralph Breaks the Internet, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. What do you think what is your pick?
Honestly, it's coming down to 2 movies to me. I've seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and The Incredibles 2. Up until November, The Incredibles 2 had this whipped. I saw Spider-Man, Spider-Verse, and it made me think. I'm sitting here have to think about it. And this is the first time I've had to really think about it when it comes to an animated feature.
Well, I saw a portion of Isles of the Dogs, and I have to say, it was not engaging, and I could not make it through it. And I'm a hard sell on movies. I will not watch a movie for the sake of saying I watched a movie. If it doesn't pull me in within 30 minutes, I tend to turn. I'm moving on, and it was one of the ones that I just moved on.
Yeah,
I love The Incredibles. So my pick will be The Incredibles 2.
My pick would also be The Incredibles 2. I think it's a generational thing. But I'm gonna say, don't be surprised if Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse wins.
I know, but my love for The Incredibles goes to being an adult. I love watching The Incredibles. I love watching the first one and the second one because as I watched it, I said, I'm a person, I've taught 25 years. I have my own child. I've worked with children my whole life. And I said, whoever wrote this has a keen understanding of children and relationships and families. And there were some scenes that it could have been written in my kitchen. The story is good. It is a children's story in there, but as an adult watching it, I like a animation that gives an adult story too. And, basically they talked about downsizing. Your job is now all of a sudden defunct. You got to reinvent yourself. Daddy used to bring home the bacon. Now mama got to go out and work. I really love that. It was a great theme to me.
We will see Oscar night, so we both agree with The Incredibles 2.
Yes, sir.
But I'm saying the dark horse might be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay. Well, what about adapted screenplays? And the participants are The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Black Klansman, Can You Ever Forgive Me, If Beale Street Could Talk, and A Star Is Born. Now, I actually saw every movie in this category.
I did too.
And what do you say?
And I'm going to say it's going to come down to 2 for me. I think it would come down to If Beale Street Can Talk. And I'm also going to pick Black Klansman.
Well, it comes down to what the Academy is trying to do. If they're trying to award Spike Lee the award that he never got, this may be his slot. Mm-hmm. With all the other things going on. If that is not in play, I would definitely go to If Beale Street Could Talk.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful story. made me want to go read the book.
Yeah, I've read the book, and that's why I'm giving it. If I had to pick, well, I'm going to go ahead and pick between the two. I'm gonna say if Bill Street can talk. I'm not picking A Star Is Born because I think the story has been done 2 prior times.
It has.
So they're looking for something fresh and new, and I think if Bill Street can talk, just reading James Baldwin's work and then looking at it on screen, you have to say they did a great job of adapting this. So that will get my vote for tonight.
So if Bill Street could talk, we're both going for that one.
We both going for that.
All right, so we both voted the same vote 2 times in a row. Look at us go.
2 times in a row.
Okay, the next category is original screenplay, and the participants are The Favorite, First Reformed, Green Book, Roma, and Vice. Now, I will be honest, not seeing First Reformed, not even heard of it, quite honestly.
I haven't seen it either. That's one of the few that I haven't seen. I look for it on, I think it's not released the video yet. And
yes, it was not on Netflix to my, up until today I checked. It was not on
Amazon Prime.
No, I couldn't find it there. And I did not see it when we were looking to go to the actual theaters to see it. I didn't see it in our area.
No.
And I know what's released is very sectional based on the demographics of the area. And so maybe the Atlanta metropolitan area, First Reform, wasn't that kind of movie that we watch. I don't know what that means.
Or it might be in the Artsy Theater downtown Atlanta.
Maybe. Maybe not on this side of town, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna say for this one, The Green Book. I'm torn. The Green Book or Vice. Again, it goes to what the other categories. I can't see either one of those movies sweeping. But whatever they don't give to the one, they're gonna give to the other. They were both really incredible movies.
It comes down to 2 movies for me. It comes down to The Green Book and Vice.
Same as me. Good job, sir.
If I had to pick one, I would pick Vice.
I would pick Green Book.
Well, we split on that one.
Yes.
I would pick Vice. They totally wrote it perfect, not perfectly, but this guy really went out on Vice. Everything flowed. You understood. Excuse me. You understood everything. I really think it's a great movie.
It was a good movie, but as far as the screenplay, the actual writing, I think Green Book was better written. Just as a writer, I felt more continuity in the story. Both stories spanned it a huge period of time. Mm-hmm. And I felt the continuity of Green Book was better portrayed. As I watched Vice, it was definitely a longer span of time, but there were some years in there that just were lost. And being the history buff that I am, I had some questions. There were some loose threads that needed to be hemmed up into the seams of the story to me.
Well, we will see Sunday night who's right.
Okay, moving on to the next category, which is, drum roll please,
Supporting Actress.
Best Supporting Actress. Now we're getting to the heavy hitters. For Vice, we had Amy Adams. For Roma, we had Marina del Travilla. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. For If Bill Street Could Talk, we had Regina King. And The Favorite brought 2 ladies in, Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz. Now, saw every one of those movies, and without question, without anything, Amy Adams became Mrs. Dick Cheney. From her first time you saw her to the last scene, she was his wife, his campaign manager, his cheerleader, his drive, his whip and lash. She embodied that role. Probably more than anything else. I mean, she became Mrs. Dick Cheney. I don't even know what her first name was in the movie, because what she did was support and make sure Dick Cheney got what he needed.
It's going to be hard to argue with you on that point, because I watched all 5 movies and all 5 actresses. I agree 100%.
Now,
Amy Adams really should get it.
There was a lot of talk about Regina King, and me and you've discussed this, and I'm going to put it out there. Regina King really was a dynamic actress in If Beale Street Could Talk. I think, and it's one of those situations, where you come from and what you know, frame of reference. When I looked at her, I felt like she did a good job, but I also felt like she was every good black mother I know. African American women, traditionally, what Regina King portrayed is what African American women portray in their families as a general rule. Very strong, hold it together, do what has to be done to take care of our children. And if it's our children by our own birth, or it's our children because our child brought them to us and said, Mama, this is my best, this is my husband, this is my whatever. All of a sudden we got another child and we do whatever we have to do to take care of them. So I liked her in that role, and I've heard a lot of buzz about her, but I would still say Amy Adams because I didn't feel like Regina King was doing that much acting.
No, and when you saw Amy Adams, she got lost in her role. She became that person. Mm-hmm. And I think that's real acting to me.
Yes.
When you start looking at a movie, and you don't even know who that person is. All you see is that character.
And that's what I had to go and go, what in the world was Amy? I recognized her face, but she got so involved in the character that I forgot every other role she ever played. Mm-hmm. All I could see was Mrs. Dick Cheney.
Yep.
All right, so we agree. Amy Adams.
Hey, damn, there we go.
All right. Best supporting actor. And the candidates are Mr. Ali, Mahershala Ali, I apologize for your name mispronunciation, from The Green Book, Adam Driver from Black Klansman, Sam Elliott from A Star is Born, Richard Grant from Can You Ever Forgive Me, and Sam Rockwell from Vice.
All right.
I'll let you start.
I've seen all 5 actors. Honestly, 2 stick out for me. Well, 3. Sam Rockwell was just funny to me. I loved it because I was sitting there laughing. I saw him. I didn't see George Bush. I saw him. But he had him down pat, and I was just laughing the whole time. He played a great George Bush. I think Sam Elliott, perfect. But he's like the same character in every movie, but he does such a great job. That's why his acting career has been so long. Sam Elliott is Sam Elliott when you see him in the movies. But the person who should get it is Mr. Ali from The Green Book. Outstanding performance. I heard something early on the radio today. They was like, well, he might not get it because he won it 2 years ago. That's crap. He should get it. He really should get it. He just threw down in this movie. We saw his whole range of acting. Perfect. And if it was best actor, he should have got it. But he won now. He was nominated for supporting actor.
So I agree with you. Mr. Ali is my pick, hands down. After I watched the movie, I had never heard of this particular person. And I went on the internet and did some in-depth research on this man. And what was so shocking is I can't, like, when I looked at his actual picture, the actual picture of the performer, I had trouble looking at his face and his person because all I could see was Mr. Ali because, like you said, he did such a good job of acting. Mm-hmm. They were definitely different body builds, different skin tones, looked definitely different, but he did such a good job that when I think and I read more about him, if there's not a picture of the actual man there, I envision Mr. Ali. That's how well he acted that role. So I would have to go with him. I enjoyed Adam Driver. Sam Elliott, as always, with that beautiful, rich voice, broke my heart in The Star is Born. He always does. He had to walk away from his brother. Richard Grant in Can You Ever Forgive Me is hilarious, as he always is. And you are right. Sam Rockwell did a wonderful job of playing Mr. Bush. He tickled me. He just tickled me. He was funny. But I would have to say Mr. Ali, hands down.
And my favorite part is about the chicken. I love when they sitting there eating chicken. So what you gonna do? I just love it.
The chicken. Both of them had good chicken scenes, didn't they?
They did. Both of them. Both movies.
Okay, next category, leading actress. Leading actress candidates are Melissa McCarthy, Can You Ever Forgive Me? Lady Gaga, A Star Is Born, Olivia Colman, The Favorite, Glenn Close, The Wife, and Miss Aparicio. I apologize again for the names. For Roma. Okay, so let's talk about Roma for a second because it's in a lot of categories. It was not a bad movie. The subtitles kind of got the best of me. I don't do well with them because I'm not a watcher as well as I should be. And with subtitles, you actually have to sit and actively watch.
You do.
And it was a good movie. I sat and actively watched. However, this young lady did not come across as the best leading actress. It was a nice movie, but she did not. When I look at Glenn Close and Lady Gaga, that's when I see real acting. Now with Lady Gaga, I will be honest, her voice overwhelmed her acting by a long shot. Her voice is so, oh my God, beautiful and dynamic and exaggerated and wonderful. I really enjoyed it. And I was never a big Gaga fan until this movie. And I've actually found myself going back and going through her songs and looking at them with a more critical eye. Wow. Just wow to her singing and to her acting. But, when I look at the other two performances, no, she wasn't the best lady character to me. I would have to say Glenn Close. In a very slow-moving movie. In a movie that actually, the movie was over before you realized what it was really about. You realized it. Before the climax of the movie hit. The movie was almost over. But I think she was the leading character because she was the quintessential mom of the bad dad. I want my family to be happy.
Bad dad, bad husband.
Bad dad, bad husband, bad man.
Yeah.
Okay, the son, obviously, from the moment he stepped on set, was mad at daddy. It was like you came in this world mad at your daddy. The daughter basically she lost respect for him so long ago that it wasn't even an issue for her anymore. She was like, don't worry, Mom. I don't respect him. I do respect you, so I'll be respectful to him for you. And through all of that, through all of those kids' attitudes being pushed to the side, she was a lady. And she was quiet in her submission to the role that I did all of these things for you. And it was that, it became that the straw that broke the camel's back situation. So you still going to act the fool, even though you've gotten the highest award that I could give you. I've given you this. And now you're going to act the fool and pretend like you don't know where I'm at. She really did it for me. I really enjoyed her. Amazingly, when I watched Roma and when I watched The Wife, I saw a very similar story. Basically, the tale of women who gave their all to men who gave absolutely nothing.
Yep.
But I would still say Glenn Close.
I've seen all 5 women, and honestly, Glenn Close. And I'm not saying it just because you said it.
I would never say you would do that.
I looked at each movie and studied them. And honestly, even the Queen in The Favorite.
Yeah, I didn't even understand
I was still
that.
trying to understand how she got the lead role. When you could have basically said she was a supporting role.
Yeah.
Again, I do think Lady Gaga could have. If I had to pick a second, I'd pick Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
If I had to
definitely.
pick, again, Dark Horse come out of the movie, out of this category, it'd be Lady Gaga. Because she was a lead, she just came out of nowhere.
She was good.
She came out of nowhere.
She was real
and
good.
She held her ground.
So let me ask you a question, Dr. Shipman.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa, we have not said her name, and her movie have come up quite a bit. Melissa McCarthy. What was your opinion of her?
It wasn't a stretch to me. I've seen her act that way. It wasn't a big... I just feel like I was watching her like I see her in everything else.
But she's normally a comedic actor. This was definitely a drama.
When she does a serious part in a comedy, that was her. This wasn't a stretch. I didn't see it.
She didn't come out of her character.
Nope. And I think if somebody else portrayed their character, they could have took it and did something else with it.
Unfortunately, I
didn't
think
see
she's been stereotyped.
Yeah, I didn't see the depths of the
yes.
character. She couldn't. I didn't see it.
Okay. So our next category is leading actor. And our candidates are Christian Bale for The Vice, Bradley Cooper, A Star is Born, William Dafoe at Eternity's Gate, Rami Malek, Bohemian Rhapsody, and if I mispronounce your name, I apologize, and Viggo Mortensen for Green Book. Those movies. Every one of them.
I think this is going to be one of the best categories of the night. Because I think all 5 actors came with it.
Every one of them.
I mean, Christian Bale had to put on about 30, 40 pounds.
Had to be more than that.
And the makeup. He lost. You forgot you were watching him. I didn't see Batman.
No,
I saw
didn't.
Christian Bale.
Right.
I mean, I didn't see Christian Bale. I saw Dick Cheney. He totally became, as he aged in the movie, you just saw Dick Cheney. And when Bradley Cooper was just...
You really thought he was a true singer.
Right.
I mean, this was not an actor, producer, director. This is a country artist who decided to make a movie. It was beautiful.
I saw William Dafoe. He did a great job.
Unfortunately, the script wasn't that strong.
Yeah, if it was best movie, I mean, should he been nominated? Yes. Should he win? No, he just shouldn't. Because the other 4 guys, man, they came with it. Bohemian Rhapsody,
Mr. Malik. Oh my God! Let me tell you, and this always makes my sister laugh. I called my sister after and I said, I did it again. I knew Freddie Mercury. I knew of Freddie Mercury, and I love Queen. And I'm a music buff in the sense that I like words. I don't necessarily get into the artists or the performers. There are very few performers that I actually connect to their music. I know it sounds weird, but I have songs that have no relationship to the performers. And so I loved a lot of Queen's music. I never actually connected Freddie Mercury to it. And when I was watching it, I was like, oh my God, I knew who he was all along. This guy was so good that I forgot I wasn't watching Freddie Mercury.
Right.
I mean, it was, wow.
That was another transformation. He embodied the role. He became Freddie Mercury. I was like, whoa.
He made me want to cry for his broken and wounded spirit the whole time, from the early, when he was young, just before he created the band. Mm-hmm. He was so wounded, and he knew that there was something great in him, and it just had to get out. And to the end, when he realized that his greatness had kind of gotten out of control, and he had to rein it back in. And so I would definitely say, for me, it's him. He's my pick for lead actor. Mr. Malik would be my pick. I love Green Book. I love Mr. Mortensen in that. He was good. He was great. He made you love him. You fell in love with him. You fell in love with the love story with his wife. But he shared so much of the center stage with Mr. Ali that it's hard to say that he was the best lead actor. He didn't take over the movie. I don't even remember who else was in Bohemian Rhapsody. Mr. Malik was so good that I see him. Him and the Cats. The Cats could have got an award. They were great. That's it.
For me, it comes down to 2 people. Well, at first it was 3. Mr. Morrison, Rami, and Kristen Bell. If I had to pick one, which I have to pick one this show, I pick one, it would have to be...
Yes.
Mr. Rami.
All right.
It would have to be him. I mean, this guy, like I said...
Mr. Malik. Rami Malek.
His performance will go down in history.
Rami Malek.
It will go down in history. And this, I listened to the radio earlier, and they agreed that this movie wasn't the greatest movie, but his performance is one of the greatest performances you ever seen.
Yeah.
And they said that this movie, which you can't make a sequel for,
Nope.
has almost made $1 billion.
And nobody ever talked about the movie. No. They talk about his performance.
Right.
He was great. He was great. It was something to see. All right. Next category, directors. Top directors. We have Mr. Spike Lee for Black Klansman. We have Mr., and I'm going to mess it up, but I've looked it up, Paulkowski. I apologize.
Good job. You got it.
For Cold War. Yorgos Lanthimos for The Favorites. Alfonso Cuarón for Roma. And Adam McKay for Vice. Now, I know you know my opinion of Spike Lee. Spike Lee, he laid down some serious groundwork for African-American directors and cinema photography. However, him and the camera movement, the camera angles, and zooming in and zooming out and spinning around, cannot do it. Since I was a teenager and his first movies came out, Spike Lee has worn me out. When I leave any movie that he directs, I am normally tired and need to close my eyes and rest them because the cameras are doing everything but focusing on the story. So it's just not him for me as a director. That's too much. Maybe it feeds into my ADHD. I don't know. But it's just too much. It just unfocused me. And even though it was a good story, can't go with him.
Let me talk about The Favorite for a second.
You go ahead. Because you said the exact opposite about The Favorite.
When I watched The Favorite, it's like the whole movie was shot in and they used a castle and maybe the grounds of the castle. But this guy was shooting in the fisheye lens. I know most people like Terrence will know what you're talking about. Wide angle lens almost the entire movie. And I was just like, hey, dude.
Focus on something.
He was too busy trying to show, look at the castle I got. Look at I set. And I was like, how about focusing on the story? Can you bring that in a little bit?
I would have to agree.
Yeah,
it was hard to watch too.
It was like looking at a panoramic picture, the actors in the middle, but you got to see everything else on the side, and you just like, this a little bit too much now. Where you're trying to do what's the IMAX? You were trying to do something.
I don't know, but the best way I can describe it was visual surround sound.
Yes, it was.
And it was, and just like surround sound can be overwhelming in a really loud movie, it was overwhelming. I will agree with you there. And
with Romy, again, he was another guy trying to show I can write, I can produce, I can direct. I'm gonna show y'all, I'm gonna show the world what I can do. And I think the critics have fed into this, and I'm like, he was doing too much too. It's like, hey, can you just shoot a straight movie? Yeah, and I think it comes down to, are we looking at direction of a movie as an artistic form, or direction of a movie creating something that is enjoyable to watch? Right. And I think sometimes when they say the best director, they get into that artistic form thing, but I want something as just your run-of-the-mill, typical moviegoer who goes and spends $50 at the movies once a week. I want something good to watch. And so when we come down to it, I'm going to tell you who I think is... Who you got? I got Mr. Adam McKay. I got Mr. Adam McKay, too, because Vice, if you don't know any American history, if you were asleep through the whole 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, Adam McKay gave you a story and a quick history lesson, and you saw it from the point of view of a simple, innocent, unassuming American citizen. Yep. Who ended up getting this, I ain't gonna spoil it. Got. So we both going with Adam McKay as director. Adam McKay. And we're right on time. Our last category, Best Picture. Woo-hoo! The contestants are Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star is Born, and Vice. Now, tell me what were your top three. All right, my top three. Green Book. Yay. Black Panther. Yay. And I have to pick one more. Bohemian Rhapsody. Really?
Really? My 3 favorites were Vice.
Oh, I forgot Vice. I'll take that back. I'm
So
sorry.
which one you knocking off?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
So you're saying Green Book,
Right.
Black Panther,
Right.
and Vice.
Oh, no.
Well, come on, now you got to make a decision.
I know.
And in lies the problem. These were all dynamic movies. To pick one is going to be hard. So we just need your top 3.
I just got to mess with your audience. I'm sorry. I really do know my top 3.
What are they?
Top 3 is Vice, Stars Born, Green Book.
And my top 3 are Vice, Stars Born, Green Book. With a strong, biting at the heels, Black Panther.
Yep.
Black Panther was a tribute to every little kid, male or female, black kid who wanted to be a superhero.
I think Black Panther took the United States by storm.
I would go with World.
Yep. It was the number 2 rated movie in the world last year, but the number 1 rated movie in the United States. Gross-wise, I think it had the best ensemble cast of all the movies. Now, Vice is close. Now, Vice had a great cast.
Yeah, it did.
They had an A-list, that cast. Now, everybody, like I said, everybody in that cast came with their A-game. Mm-hmm. They made that movie saying, we're going to make a good movie. And that's what they did.
And I would think the same thing with Black Panther. I think, like I said, every little kid, every black adult who was a little kid who liked superheroes, a part of your heart, even if you couldn't articulate it, said, I wish there were more black superheroes. Mm-hmm. And they were scattered here and there, everywhere, so to speak. And even if you were a bad little kid and you wanted to be the bad villain, you said, I wish there were more black villains. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in 2018, on the big screen was everything you could dream of as a superhero fan and being African American. And it was just good. However, the other 3, Vice, A Star is Born, and Green Book, were better to me. In my humble opinion.
Right. We got I'm going to narrow it down to 2 now.
All right, cool.
So my top 3 again was Vice, Stars Born, and Green Book. So I'm going to narrow it down to 2. My top 2, Stars Born, Green Book.
Mine too.
I
already know my number 1.
It is Stars Born. I only saw it once, which is strange. And I think if you've seen the movie, it's hard to see twice. I can watch it again once it comes on video or once it comes on cable. I wish you could experience it in the theater. The music. God, when you're just sitting there and you're listening to the music in the theater, it blows you away.
And you say, I love the music, but I love the love story even more.
Yep, it was
oh
a
my
great
God,
love story.
It spoke to the romantic in me, that part of me that really likes a good romance, a love story, this heartbreaking, tragic love story. He found her. He pursued her. He got her. He brought her into something she never imagined being brought into. And it destroyed him.
Yep. And Green Book.
Oh my God.
Honestly, it just excellent movie. The friendship. How at first they wasn't friends. They hated each other. And
the introspect on humanity that no matter what, at the end of the day, we're so much more alike than different.
And let me tell you what brought them together. Good old fried chicken.
You like fried chicken.
Good old fried chicken. That was like my favorite scene.
Two movies now. Chicken have brought you in.
He crossed that line. He said, we're in Kentucky. Let's get some Kentucky fried chicken. And boy, they were eating on that chicken. He enjoyed himself eating that bucket of chicken.
It was a good movie. It was a good movie.
It was.
It talked about how you can have a family out of anything. All you got to do is love people.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, my top pick, however, with all of that being said,
and
the best movie of 2018.
And what's your best movie?
A Star is Born.
A Star is Born.
Yours too?
And my best movie, ladies and gentlemen, for the year is, I'm going to go with it, Star is Born.
All right.
If I had to pick one movie that was a masterpiece this year, that can be seen every year, and you can say, that movie represents that year, A Star is Born would be it.
All right. It's timeless.
Yep. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us on this Oscar special at Shipman at the Movies.
And come back and listen to see how we did later. We will be back next week.
We'll be back next week.
To either eat crow or Pump our fists in the air.
And we got a lot of big movies coming out soon. We got Tyler Perry's last Madea movie coming out.
And we're going to compare that to the stage play, too.
Yep, and we have also the Dragon movie. Its last movie is out this week, and I might sneak and go see it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We'll see you next time on Shipman and Shipman at the Movies.